Hey everybody, SPAZ here, and this is a video that's probably going to get a lot of my friends upset, and some of them will probably disown me, but this is a video... Wait a minute. What did I put it as the title? Oh, wow. Oh. Wait. Before you get confused by the title of this video, it's not really what it's supposed to be. You see, because I had a long title and I just had to pull out random words and just be able to fit it in there. I guess I didn't do too good of a job. This video is actually called, I absolutely love and don't understand how anyone can hate the Beatles. All of their albums are worthwhile, and I rank them in this video. Sorry for the confusion there. This is actually just me going through the Beatles albums and ranking them. And I'm basically just ranking the UK albums. I'm not going to be ranking the US albums, although I do like a few of those, and I might have a few at the end of this video. We're going to start off with Yellow Submarine as my least favorite Beatles album. I'm starting from the bottom and working my way up to the top. Now, I have the song track. I don't think I've ever actually owned the real Yellow Submarine soundtrack. I wasn't impressed at that time when I was a kid with the orchestral stuff. Now, maybe today, if I stumble across it, I will pick it up because I'll probably enjoy it now, but I've just never owned a copy of that. But this, now, if this was the actual soundtrack, this would definitely be in my top 5 because it has all the songs from the original soundtrack, the 5 songs, and then it has more songs from the movie that weren't on the original soundtrack. And I think this is the first time that they actually went back and started that whole remixing thing, because I think the songs in this might be remixed. I could be wrong. You Beatle fanatics will know better than I. Anyway, this one is surprising even for me. My next least favorite Beatles album. Now, when I talk about Beatles albums and least favorite, every album is worthwhile. Everybody should own every Beatles album. But if I were on a sinking ship and I had to go through and rank my Beatles albums to decide which ones to take with me, they would go in this order. But anyway, Let It Be. It's not one of my favorite albums, but it has 2 of my favorite Beatles songs, which is Let It Be and The Long and Winding Road. And I love the Phil Spectorized versions of them. I know a lot of people don't. But as a whole, this is not an album that I go back to, except for those 2 tracks. Now, if they put Don't Let Me Down on the album, Don't Let Me Down is one of my favorite Beatles songs. If they put that on this, then it would rank higher. That one song would really make a difference. Now, we're working our way up to my favorite, so we're going to start with... Oh, I'm sorry. How did that get in there? It's The Residents. Meet the Residents. With the Beatles. Another fine, great album, but it's not one of the first that I would take during the zombie apocalypse. Next, Please Please Me. It's a great, fine album. John sounds like he has a cold through the whole thing. And there's so much energy and excitement on this album. I love it. But this is just not one that I would take with me if the plane was going down. This one's going to get everybody mad because it's so low on my list. The White Album, even the 3 CD set with the bonus disc, it's still a fantastic album, still a wonderful album, lots of great songs, but if I was being attacked by bees, this would not be the one I would take. But we're getting to that exciting stuff, such as Beatles for Sale, great album. This was from 1964. It's strange because they put out like 2 albums in 1963, 2 albums in 1964, 2 albums in 1965, I think, plus... They did 2 movies and toured the world a few times. These guys were the hardest working men in show business. And then, of course, the Freddie Lennon single. That's right, that's John Lennon's dad cashing in on the Beatles' success. How did that get in there? I don't know. Then, of course, Sgt Pepper. Yeah, people are going to go, my God, that's my number 1. Yeah, and that's fantastic. That's your number 1. It's not my go-to Beatles. Neither is the 2 CD remixed version. Still a great album. Beatles albums are like family members. You know, you love them all, but there's just some that you don't love quite as much as the others. Another shocker. Revolver. Fantastic friggin' album. 1966. I mean, just the cover and the back cover to me is iconic. You know, just looking at these pictures and I can remember what it was like with the headphones on and really enjoying them. But it's not one of my 5 favorites. It's one of my 9 almost favorites. Then we're going to get to Hard Day's Night, which is almost a perfect album. This could possibly be one of the very first power pop albums, because it's just jam-packed full of love, 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 but not love, love me do. So doesn't have that song on it. But look at those songs. Jeez Louise. Makes my heart just... Then, next, Magical Mystery Tour. And we're almost at the top 3. This is number 4 on my list. But Magical Mystery Tour, I love this album. I listen to this album more than Sgt Pepper. I know that's idiotic, but that's me. Next album on my list, The Ruddles. Oh, sorry, but come on. In a perfect world, the Ruddles album would be one of your favorite Beatles albums too. My third favorite Beatles album, Abbey Road. The regular version and the remixed version. Anybody that complains about the remixed versions of the albums, just don't buy them, just don't listen to them. Go back and listen to the regular. I have a choice. Which one do I want to listen to today? It doesn't matter. I'm going to complain on the internet about it. Come on. This is just a fabulous album. Either way, this album is so exciting. The feeling I get when listening to this album is equal to winning the lottery at the same time I find out that there's an onion ring in my order of fries. Come on. Abbey Road, fantastic. My top 2 favorite Beatles albums. Number 2, Help. And it has to be the UK version, which this is. I mean, this has Yesterday on it. You know, I got tired of listening to Yesterday for probably 35 years. Didn't even want to hear it anymore. And then one day it just clicked again, and every time it plays, I go back and hit repeat, hit repeat, hit repeat. But anyway, have you been keeping track? Do you know what my number 1 Beatles album is? That's right, Rubber Soul. That is my number 1 favorite Beatles album. I have to say this UK version is my favorite. And that is it for me ranking the Beatles. I did want to mention a few things. I love the remastered Past Masters, where you get all those tracks. But I kind of don't count compilations, so that's why I can't add this into those, the Beatles anthology things. I'm not even counting Let It Be Naked. I'm just counting the original albums. But boy, these are just jam-packed with great stuff. But what I did also want to mention, remember how I mentioned the American albums? Well, my 2 favorite American albums that I own are Beatles 6 and Rubber Soul, and these contain the mono and stereo versions of each of those albums. But anyway, that's it. Thank you for hanging out. Until the next time, smell you later.